Alright, we're live. Happy Christmas, boys.
Merry
Merry
Christmas.
Christmas.
You all have a
Merry
good
Christmas.
one.
Yeah, it was good, man. It was good. Just spent some time with the family, the girls' family as well. They're like, I was telling Ocean, they're like really into Christmas. So we
Are they?
yeah, woke up, had like a little snacky breakfast, like salmon and cream cheese and stuff, and then
Mm.
and to be fair though, as soon as they started cooking, they put the Christmas dinner on at like 11, like 10 o'clock, 11. As soon as they put it in, there was a power cut to the whole of like Lincolnshire. It was out for
No
like an
way.
hour. Yeah, so they were stressing about timings and stuff, but no, it was
Yeah,
really
but
nice,
everyone was
man.
panicking.
Yeah, yeah,
What a day
that
to
was
go
good,
to have
man.
a power cut.
I know.
Yeah, we was like, I bet everyone's just put all their food on like all at the same time, and it's just caused a massive like surge in power or something.
Yeah.
All the ovens are being put on at the same time. Um, but yeah, no, it was nice though, man. Saw my family, her family, and then just kind of chilled for the day. How was yours?
Yeah, it's a similar thing really. Just went to my girls' brothers for food, parents after, and pretty chilled one to be honest. I wasn't really like drinking much. It's just more about food, isn't it, man? Just ate so much food and so much shit.
Mm.
Same with
Yeah,
yesterday as well. Just had like big breakfast and then find yourself just eating all the chocolates and shit you get for Christmas anyway. So
yeah,
now I'm just in like, right, I need to straight back to clean eating now. I've had 2 days of just eating shit. And you always feel
Mhm.
like shit, don't you? So just back to it now. But no,
yeah,
it's a nice Christmas, man. It's always good to see the fam and everything. So yeah, pretty chilled one. I think the older you get, the more relaxed it does get. Cause I remember being a kid and just coming downstairs and just loving opening presents. You'd have like 20 presents to open because they're just like little cheap
Yeah.
toys or whatever. But now it's like you
mm,
get a card, maybe some new boxes, and that's about
Some
it.
new socks.
Yeah.
yeah, yeah,
Or a
How's
definitely.
coffee
yours, Ocean?
machine.
Oh yeah, you got the coffee machine. That's a good one.
Mm, chin chin. Sorted for the year. And the pet, I got
Yeah.
like, it looked like a vase. I was like, what the hell is this? I opened it, and it was just full of pods as well. So I got like probably
Nice.
like what a normal person, probably like 6 months worth of coffee, but lasts me about 2 weeks. But
Yeah.
that's good for me.
How many you on a day
Yeah.
now?
Nah, I don't drink that much to be honest. I normally have two max. Like
Is it?
normally just one in the morning, and then I'll drink like tea and like fruit tea and stuff in the day and water.
Right.
So yeah, is my oh, do you mind pausing the upload? So I'm just there's like a delay, I
Yeah, of
think.
course.
Thanks.
Forgot to do that. Um, yeah, we should be good now.
Sweet. Yeah, got it. Thanks.
How about you, Ocean? What did you get up to in Thailand?
Honestly, nothing really. I didn't do anything. I just sat at home most of the day. Actually, oh yeah, no, I went to the gym and I went to the spa. I forgot. I did that really early in the morning.
I can't believe it's open Christmas Day. I guess over there
Yeah,
it's just not as
to
big
be
of a thing.
honest, everything is open. It's not a holiday here like that. Like some
Yeah,
people will celebrate for sure, but nothing was closed. So I was still
right.
able to do all of that. Went to the spa, went to the sauna, then I got like what do you call it? Christmas lunch or Christmas dinner basically, but I
Mm,
had it at lunch. The
right.
usuals, the Yorkshire turkey, roast
Nice.
potatoes. I had to get that in. So
Of
I went
course.
somewhere here that sells that and it was slapping. And then
Nice.
pretty much the rest of the day I didn't do anything. I was just kind of watching Netflix, falling asleep, just relaxing, honestly.
Yeah.
Mm,
It's nice to have a day like that. Like gym and a spa in the morning, then just some food and then chilling. It sounds like a
Yeah.
beautiful day, man.
It
yeah.
gets boring really quick though. Well, for
Yeah.
me, it got boring really quick this year because it was just I was just by myself in it. But I think if you're with people and stuff like that, it's a lot more fun.
Yeah. No,
Yeah.
definitely. It's like the one time of year that people actually make an effort to see the fam and everything.
Yeah, that's the one
Throughout the
time
rest of the year,
you
it's like
really,
everyone's busy.
yeah, you see everyone, you know.
Hmm.
But it was
Yeah,
cool. Yeah, it was
definitely.
calm.
Nice. So we got
But
a
nice
little
to
Q
get
and A
away.
going today.
Yeah. Yeah, we've got some questions. Just about to say it would be nice to get away for Christmas. I know a few people that have done that. Like one of my
Mm.
close boys just went to Spain for Christmas with his mom, just to get a
Hmm.
little bit of sun. My girl
Yeah.
went to Dubai a few years back, spent Christmas with her sister there.
Yeah.
And I imagine it to be quite nice, man. Like obviously Christmas, you imagine all the snow and everything, but
Yeah,
because
it's
it's
a
just
different
cold
vibe.
here all year round, pretty much. It's just, I reckon it'd be nice.
Yeah, no, it
Yeah.
is nice. But I do think there is something about having Christmas in winter. Like a place
Yeah,
where it feels like winter.
Yeah.
It's nice
like
and
most,
cozy.
yeah, definitely. If you're warm inside and you can see it's cold and snowy outside, there's definitely a cozy feeling.
Mm.
My brother's in Canada. He moved back like 5 years ago, but I've still got loads of fam out there. And when he FaceTimed, it's just they've got a perfect white Christmas, just loads of snow,
Yeah.
freezing cold, and it does look nice. Feel it looks
Mm.
more Christmassy. So I'm
Hmm.
tempted to also do that one year, but man, when he's sending me the temperature and it's like -20, I'm like, I
Oh
don't know
man,
about
Damn.
that.
Fucking hell. That's
maybe
brutal.
for
That's
just a
brutal.
couple of days or something.
Yeah,
For a couple of days, it's calm, but if you're trying to do that for like a month, oof.
yeah. I don't know if I could hack that for a month.
Yeah. That's
Where is
tough,
that?
man. That's
Toronto?
tough.
Yeah, he's a bit north of Toronto, maybe like an hour
Okay,
from Toronto.
fair.
So I think they all pretty much moved out of the city over the past few years.
Hmm.
Its prices were just getting crazy.
Mm.
They moved up like just before they went insane. So like over there, because the land's so big, like you could at one point get a big house with a pool and stuff that would cost you the same amount as just like a standard sized house here. And now
Yeah.
the prices have just shot up. So I can't imagine how much it would be to live in Toronto right now. To buy a place anyway, it's probably like London prices.
Mm. Fair enough, man.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, it's just living that country life out there. It was kind
Hmm.
of peaceful.
You've been out there to see him in the
Yeah, yeah,
country.
yeah. I went out not last year. I went like a few years back. I haven't been for a few years, so I'm definitely due another trip.
Mm. What do you think?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could live out there. It seems a bit too country for me right now. Like it's
Hmm.
nice, it's peaceful, but I still like to be somewhat connected. You know what
Got
I
you.
mean? Like I'm only
Yeah.
30 minutes from Manchester now, so we still go into Manchester, and I feel like we get a nice balance. We're in a bit of countryside here, but then we can easily just step into like city life if we need it. So I like the flexibility of doing that. I don't think I'm ready for. He's got like a dog and a kid and everything, so he's ready to just settle down and have that type of life. But
Hmm.
I think
Mm.
that's a bit further ahead for me.
Yeah.
I hear that.
Do you think you could live out there like at some point, with what we're doing now? Like, do you think you could do that in like a way more remote like location, or do you think you kind of need to be, I guess, more like near studios, like where you can just drive down to to sessions and stuff?
I think I probably could do it, but it would just make it that little bit harder when you want to do sessions. Like, there's no
Yeah.
one like around me now for sessions. I always end up driving to London or somewhere else. So either way, you're gonna have to travel. But there's easy access to trains here, and obviously Manchester as well. If there's ever anything going on there, but yeah, I don't know. There's benefits to it, but then there's also the downside of just being too much out of the way.
Yeah.
So yeah, I don't know. Maybe at one
Yeah.
point. The older you get, the further away you want to move. I know when you're
Yeah.
younger, you like want to be in the city, and then once you've done that life for a little bit, then it's like, you know what, I want some peace now. So
Yep.
I've lived in the city for like a long time. So then after a while, I was like, right, okay, let me get some peace. So I feel like I've got
Yeah.
a good balance here now. Do you think you could?
Yeah, that's so true. At some point, yeah, not now, but I mean, I kind of am right now, but
Yeah.
yeah, maybe not like super super remote, but
Hmm.
yeah, definitely at some point. But I know what you mean. It's like like you leave, you go for like a long drive somewhere to like another studio session, and you kind of you're just driving through like like no man's land basically in the
Yeah.
UK, just farmland, and you just see like one random house in the middle
Mm.
of absolutely nowhere, and you're like, why has someone moved here? It's like I feel like 20 years from now we'll probably look at it like, yeah, I get it now.
Yeah. It's either a farmer or someone that just got fed up of society and just wanted to
Yeah,
be by
yeah,
himself.
yeah, exactly. Be like that house in Grantham, when we went to we did the big producer link up, and there was like a wall just full of like empty shotgun pellets, and then
Mm.
dead animals
Yeah.
on the wall and stuff.
Yeah,
That
yeah.
kind of that kind of vibe.
It would be
Yeah,
nice when you're older, I think,
yeah,
to have a bit of
definitely.
land because it's peaceful. You know, when you like when you drive to those, when we go to those link ups in the middle of nowhere, like when you're driving through those country roads, it just looks a lot nicer, man. Like to actually see some greenery and wildlife and stuff makes you feel a bit more connected.
I hear
Yeah,
that.
definitely.
I think for me personally, I prefer a balance because if I was doing that all the time, man, it would be so boring. After a week, I'm
Yeah,
just
of course.
be so lost. I
Yeah,
think maybe just once every month or something like that, or every
mm,
three. I'm
Just
a
a
what?
step
city guy,
away.
so I prefer to be right in a city. But I
Yeah,
do
yeah,
think like going out to the countryside every now and again is nice. But
Yeah.
24/7, I don't know.
Yeah, it might get a bit
Only if it's like
much.
a short amount of time. Like let's say, okay, I'm gonna do 3 months in the countryside and then I'm back.
Hmm.
Then
mm.
fair. But countryside forever, it's tough.
Yeah, I don't know about right now. Maybe when you're older, you might feel like that though. I'm talking
What
like
if?
retirement days.
Yeah, what if
Or
you
even just
though?
somewhere, it seems like most people want to be near a village, don't they, when they get older? They want to live out the way, but still have like walking access to some sort of village, still go for the coffees.
And a
Mm,
pub and a coffee
Yeah.
shop, good to go.
true,
Yeah,
true.
What about
we'll
though? What
see.
if you had like a crazy home studio setup? Like I'm talking like I don't know, just almost like a separate building, like dedicated to just music, and then you
Yeah,
had some
in the
kind of
country.
system. You know how, yeah, you know how like Joe Rogan has, a guy that just books people
Oh
in
yeah.
constantly. What if you
Mm,
just had that kind of system where you've just got people coming through? It's kind of just like you had that studio in Piccadilly Circus, but you just got artists pulling up to your
Mm.
studio, just like constantly just
yeah.
working on music. Would
No,
that
I do
would
hear
that
that. I think honestly, if you want space, especially in England, you're gonna have to move to the country or further outside the city because the cities just don't have any space for this kind of stuff for a good
yeah.
Yeah.
price. So
Hmm.
I'd be open to it, but I still wouldn't want to be too in the middle of nowhere. Like, let me be close to a train station or at least close to a village, like you're saying, or but like that one house in the middle
Yeah,
of
I don't know
acres
about
upon
that. I don't think
acres.
I
I
could
don't
do that
know.
right now.
Mm.
Not in England, not in England, man.
Hmm.
No, not in
But
England.
let's say, yeah,
Yeah.
for some reason, some weird reason, I had to move to Texas. I don't know why this come to my head, but because
Yeah.
everyone in Texas has space, it just feels normal that you just
Yeah.
got to live in the
Yeah.
sticks. So then I'd be like, okay, I accept it. Everyone's in the sticks. I'll just be in the sticks too.
People over there
Yeah.
seem more prepared to drive as well.
Yeah, like
Like,
it's normal, innit? Like no one. I mean,
yeah.
people do live in the city, but it's not like Dallas is like London. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Hmm.
Where you could just
Mm.
Yeah.
walk and take trains everywhere.
I keep seeing videos of properties in Texas. I don't know why, but a lot of people
Same.
make
They
those
keep popping
videos, don't
up.
they?
The
Yeah,
real
where
estate
they'll
ones.
walk around like a house that's like 300,000 and it's just huge.
It's just
Yeah.
ridiculously big. Yeah. Yeah, I've seen a few of those. It's like they
Yeah.
compare like the exact same price of a house in Texas compared to like New York City or something, and it's
Yeah.
like this tiny little one bed like apartment in a block of apartments compared to that. It's like insane.
Yeah, you can see why people move out there.
Yeah.
We might have to be the first producers to do that. Just
Could
Joe
just
Rogan
produce a
style.
trip to
compounds
Texas.
in
Yeah.
Texas.
Who
Yeah.
eats
All
chip in
got land.
50p? Could get something good, man.
Yeah.
Probably get a
Yeah,
few
definitely.
acres.
Yeah. But yeah,
Let's see
what you
what
guys
questions.
got? Sorry.
I was gonna say, let's see what questions we got as well, but
Yeah. Let's
um,
take a look.
I also wanted to see what you guys had planned for the new year as well. Like if you had any New Year's resolutions, things you wanted to work towards, or anything else.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you go first?
Well,
For my questions.
next year is the year that I turn 30. And I've been thinking about that a lot recently. I
You've
think
been
that's
feeling
quite
it a lot
monumental.
recently.
It's,
The
it's,
back pains have
it-
started.
it's kind of a monumental age though when you think about it. Like it's a big
Hmm.
age. Like you're not in your 20s no more. And I remember being like 21 and just thinking, oh, I have loads of time. And then now you're almost 30 and it's like, whoa, where did all this time just go?
Oh, it's crazy, man.
Mm. Yeah, it is.
Part of me
Yeah.
can't even believe that really I'm going to turn 30. Like it's really going to be 2025.
Yeah, it's a wild feeling, isn't it?
It's a bit
Because
nuts.
you look back on your phone, I'm sure this happens to you, but you know when you go on your photos and it recommends stuff from like 5 years ago or
Yeah.
Hmm.
like stuff from 10 years ago, and you're like, how's time just gone like that?
How's it been 10 years? How's it been 5 years already? It's
Mm,
crazy. So I
Yeah.
don't know. I feel like, yeah, that's on the back of my mind. And pretty much I
well, do you
just want
think
to,
anything needs to change as a 30-year-old? Or is it
I don't
like you thinking
think,
like family stuff? Are you thinking,
nah, I'm not there yet. Personally, I don't think things necessarily need to change. I just want to be even more focused than I have been. I
mm-hmm,
still feel like I got a bit more that I can push
yeah,
performance wise and get, I
I
feel
feel like
like yeah, I
that.
could just focus up a bit more and just be a bit more prolific with everything I do. So honestly,
Mm-hmm,
that's just my New Year's resolution or New Year's goal is just to really no stones unturned, just go after it, be more on the attack this year
yeah.
Mm.
in all areas of life.
Have you got any specific goals? Like maybe you want to spend more time with artists, spend more time on health, like,
I definitely want to start dropping some music,
mm-hmm,
and I definitely want to start getting some shows and being booked. So
yeah,
those are my main two really.
right.
What about you guys?
Sick. Yeah. Similar really. I need to do more cardio this year. Just been lifting weights this year, so
Hmm.
need to treat myself to some new running shoes or something. So yeah, keep gym going, more cardio. I want to do more sessions, like not here. Just want to go out and I'm trying to get like just one session in a month. Where I just travel somewhere like Manchester, London. Do some sessions again. Get back to doing that because I kind of like 2023 was like a intense year for sessions,
Yeah.
and then this year I was just like I'm not doing any sessions, and then I'm like now I'm getting the itch again. So I want to get like middle ground and just kind of just do one a month. So I'm not like going too crazy with it.
Yeah.
And then yeah, just honestly like just hit some like financial goals really. I've been doing like producing stuff for a while and I've always just kind of hit like a ceiling with it. So I'm gonna try and push past that this year, with like the mentorship stuff and
Yeah.
working like with artists one to one, stuff like that. And yeah, like I say, just more like focus on it this year. This last year just gone has been a bit of a procrastinating year. So yeah, really go for it this year coming. Yeah.
Yeah. You know what? I'd be keen to, after you go, Jay, I'd be keen
Mm-hmm.
to hear us like summarize 2024 for ourselves. But what's your plans for 2025?
Mm.
I briefly wrote down some goals, but I need to spend a bit more time and actually focusing on it because sometimes I struggle to even decide what I want because it changes so much day to day. But I think I do want to release more with artists, whether that being just getting some more placements or actually working with them and releasing it as a joint single, which would be more ideal. But I think like last year or this year, I didn't really push it too much. But then when I went through a couple days where I was like actually focusing on it, I started to see some results. So I know it is possible. So I do want to release more music with artists. Just because I don't know about you guys, but there's something about like putting out a complete song with an artist or getting a placement that just feels really satisfying and fulfilling. Like you
Hmm.
focus on YouTube, you hit all those goals and everything, but when music comes out with an artist, it just kind of makes you feel like, man, this is what we actually started it for. Like we start to feel like producers in a weird way. So yeah, I think release more with artists. Again, even just trying to step up my game as a producer. I say this every year, but I still feel like I've got more in the tank to like I still want to be better as a producer. So I'll carry on with my piano practice, step up my melodies, things like that. Um, I have certain like financial goals as well, and I think start developing a plugin this year has to be a focus too. I feel
Yeah.
like I've kind of pushed it with kits, and I've released so many kits. I'm like, right, I need something new. I feel like the thing that's going to help the financial goal is maybe taking a bit more of a risk this year and developing some software or something else like that.
Mm.
And then outside of business, I think, yeah, continuing focusing on health and development. So reading at least one book each month, which should be very doable. And I think I need to focus on mobility a bit, man. Like you're talking about being in your
Yeah,
30s.
tell me about it.
It's like I've just been lifting weights for as long as I can remember. And we must have been beating our joints up over the years. You'll notice when you get up sometimes and like your knees crack or your elbow cracks and like, oh, man, I shouldn't be cracking like this. So I think, yeah, maybe just spending a bit of time on fitness and development. Sorry, fitness and mobility rather than just lifting weights. Because I want to be, when you see, sometimes you'll go into the gym or you'll just see someone that's like 60 who's still moving about freely and just looks like
Yeah.
he's
Yep.
chilling, he's nice. Like I want to be that guy when I'm older. I don't want to be the one that's like, oh, like making dad noises, getting off the sofa and everything. I want to feel
Yeah.
free. So
Yeah.
that's only going to come with a bit of mobility training. So
Mhm.
yeah, I think I need to focus on that.
Mhm.
Yeah, that sounds good, man. Some good goals right there.
Yeah.
Solid. You've really thought about them. You really sat down.
It
and
was
like,
the other night. I couldn't sleep the other night, and I was like, "What do I want?" So it was just rough notes for now, just writing down potential things. But I know it's hard to focus on everything, so I'm gonna spend a bit more time and really dial into the stuff that I actually want.
Yeah, man.
Do you guys struggle to decide what you want? Like, does it change a lot, or do you have clear goals where it's
No.
like, "Nah, this is my vision."
honestly, I know exactly what I want, and it's been solidified for a long time. Just every now and again, though, things might try and pull your attention away from it.
Mm-hmm.
Whether that be just me, like I might have saw someone on social media. This is just the easiest example.
Yeah.
And then you're like, okay, maybe I could even just do the same. Like maybe if I just do these 2 moves, and then man, I can unlock that. But then I quickly need to realize that why? What's the point?
Yeah.
That's their goal. That's not my goal. Just stay on path.
Yeah, that's the
keep
easy
going.
trap to fall into. I think we're all
Yeah.
guilty of that. Seeing someone else take a win, you're like, man, yeah, I could do that.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear that.
You got to keep on. Like nothing's wrong with trying new things. Don't get me wrong. But what I'm trying to say is that what's meant for you is what's meant for you, innit? So
Yeah.
you should just keep on continuing what it is you truly, truly, really, really want, and just keep going after it.
Yeah. It's hard
Yeah.
sometimes it is hard to figure out what you truly want though, because it does, it seems like you've had that focus. But I don't know what it is for me. Like day to day, it just changes a lot. Like some days I'm like, I need to focus on business. Let me go for this. And then other days I'm like, you know what? I need to develop myself more as a producer, release with artists. And then the next day it might be something else. I find it
Yeah.
hard to focus on one thing.
But
Yeah, I hear that.
maybe that's all of those things kind of work towards your top goal, right?
Yeah, maybe.
Because it's hard to just. It is kind of hard to just do one thing with the position we're in, because it requires many hats.
Yeah.
We
Yeah,
do have to be
definitely.
good producers, but then we also need to take care of the business. But then we also, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
It's
of
kind of
course.
hard to just do one aspect of it. I kind of did one aspect of it this year, but like I said, things kind of fall down when you're not able to juggle everything.
Yeah, because you were saying you
definitely.
focused so much on music that you didn't really take care of the business as much.
Yeah.
And then you take care of the business one year and then you end up not focusing on music as much. So it is really hard
Finding
to juggle it.
a balance within it if you can. I think it's possible.
So this
Yeah.
next year, do you think you're gonna like balance it more, or are you gonna continue focusing on music more, business more, or have you decided that balance?
They all have to work with each other in some way. I think I just need to be better with time management. So for example, if I say to myself, okay, Mondays and Wednesdays and Fridays, I'm going to make music for 6 hours, but then the other days I'll only make music for 2. Then I have all the other time to do other things and take care of all the other things, like making sure I'm staying on top of my content, making sure I'm taking care of the back end of the business.
Right.
I think it's the only way, really, just really being ruthless with the time management,
Yeah.
because it
Yeah,
can be done.
definitely.
You know what I mean? It just, you just have to try and find a way. And even if it makes me like have to work a little bit longer or a little bit harder, then it kind of is what it is. But at the end of the day, it all kind of needs to be taken care of.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a good excuse for me to just be like, oh, well, I was just doing this one thing, so everything else had to not work.
Makes sense.
you know?
I think the hours
Yeah.
are there in the day. It feels like they fly by, but you do have like a good like 8, 9, 10 hours to work in the day if you really need to.
Yeah.
And at the end of the
Mm.
day, sometimes you look back and you're like, man, I've like made one beat, I've done like a couple emails, like where's this day just gone?
Mm.
And
Mm.
it's because you get sidetracked by all these small, irrelevant tasks that you think are important. Like you
Hmm.
check your emails about 10 times in the day and probably don't even respond to them until the 10th time. You know what I mean? Like you do all these little
Literally.
meaningless tasks that you think are
Yeah.
Yeah.
important just to fill up the time.
Hmm.
Yeah. I feel like those like the whole time management thing as well, like it is on paper it's so easy, and it like you just right, all I need to do is just time block.
Yeah.
Like let's say Monday, Tuesday, dedicate that to music, then Thursday, Friday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, work on content, but and then you get into it, and sometimes it is good, like you can hold it down for a bit, and then like maybe like a month deep into doing that, you're like, oh, you kind of get sick of doing it, and then start letting it slip. But
Yeah.
yeah, it's just
But that's where like we got to recognize, okay, I'm dipping now.
yeah, let's move it around.
Let's
Yeah.
let's switch it up before it starts to become diminishing. Like maybe that's the time
Yeah.
where you say to yourself, okay, let me just go and take 3 days off, 4 days off, be in the countryside, do whatever,
Yeah.
and then come back so you can keep going.
Yeah, I guess it's like it's kind of just like gym. I guess like you do the same routine for like 7 months, get some progress, and then you kind of hit that plateau, and you kind of lose interest. So it's, at that point, you're like, okay, let me find a new routine. Let me find some new exercises. Let me find some new, just a different way of training or something, and then you get excited again. You know what I mean? I guess it's just kind of keeping things fresh, but in the, in your daily routine, I guess just kind of applying that logic would work too.
Definitely.
So, and I know
Well,
what you mean earlier, Ocean, about sorry, Jay.
That's good.
I was just gonna say, I know what you meant earlier as well, Ocean, about like having like a clear focus. I think especially in the early stages of like when you start producing, it's super clear, and then, like you said, you just I don't know, you get in your routine of like you're making money, you're getting like the success that you've kind of been looking for, and then you see like what other people are up to, and you just think, oh, maybe I can just add this, but yeah, you always forget like they probably spent years like we have building up a certain aspect, and then we'll try and go for it. And it's always those distractions that kind of come in from the side, that you don't even notice them happening. You're like, oh yeah, I'll just try this, and then before you know it, it's like you've taken time away from the thing that you was working. So
no, I've definitely been guilty of that in the past for sure.
Yeah, same, man. I think this 2024 has kind of been that kind of year for me. But as cliche as it sounds, like now we're going into 2025, it's good. It's kind of just been a nice reset. Maybe it's just having a Christmas break, just having time to just stop and think for 5 or 6 days, just to really like kind of clear the mind a bit for it.
Yeah. Yeah, it feels like you two have both had those light bulb moments where you've got a clear vision now, which is good to have.
Yeah, man. 2024. It was an interesting year. Like, I think I enjoyed the year. I think I done some really cool things that I'm happy about and got to experience. And I'm glad that I think this year I really took the time to solidify mindset and really just like going after what I actually want
Mm-hmm.
and laying that foundation. So it's been good. It's been a bit of like how can I say this? A very introspective year, like a very lonely year. Just a lot of me just being by myself with my thoughts and just doing my own thing, if that makes sense. But
no, I hear that. Seems like a kind of a pivot year as well.
Yeah.
Like the style of video and like the content branding, all that kind of stuff.
What goals did you both have at the beginning of this year? Do you still have the notes? And do you know if you hit those goals?
I definitely didn't hit them.
Yeah. So, well, it's a weird one. Yeah. Because I had that daily uploads thing going into 2024. I was like, yep, one video a day, super unedited, super uncut.
Yeah.
So that kind of I went on that. I think I did like 3 months with that or 2 months with that. And then just kind of stopped it because it was killing the channel. And then at that point, it was maybe because it wasn't working. I didn't have like a plan B or like, I guess just like a second focus for the year. That was like the main thing.
Yeah.
So I guess when I stopped that, I was just kind of just floating about for the year. But yeah, that's probably what happened.
Got
what
you.
was your goals for 2024?
Mine were just looking back at them now, didn't really hit them, but they didn't really make sense because I put get to 300k YouTube subscribers, but
Hmm.
I knew I was gonna have the amount of content I was putting out on YouTube. So I finished on I'm just under 277, so it wasn't like crazy far off, but I also only uploaded one long form piece of content every week instead of two.
Hmm.
Post one short every day. I have been pretty consistent with short form content, but it definitely hasn't been every day. So this year was a bit experimental. I wanted
Hmm.
to see what would happen if I only did one YouTube video and focused a bit more on short form content. So I remember that being like a main focus of this year, which I did do. Um, I also had some financial targets. I usually write down my sales targets for Shopify and not overall revenue, which I don't know why, because I hit the target in like overall revenue, but not in just Shopify sales. Um,
Okay.
so that's not too bad. And then I think I had some targets with placements, which I didn't really hit, but again, I didn't really focus on placements. And then I also put release on Spotify every 2 weeks. And I did release quite a bit on Spotify, but it wasn't every 2 weeks. So it looked like I was trying to do a bit of an experimental year, like get some music out on streaming platforms, make more short form content, and then some financial stuff as well. So
Hmm.
I kind of worked towards them this year. It made a bit of sense, but I think it's definitely going to change for next year.
Hmm.
Hmm. Nice.
Yeah, my goals were not accomplished. So I wanted to upload way more, but I didn't.
Yeah.
And I also put down that I wanted to tour Australia as a DJ,
Hmm.
but I think that goal was just too soon because I underestimated
What
what
it
I
would
needed,
take.
the work that I needed to put in before something like that can happen. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
lesson learned.
Yeah. Yeah. But I guess
Break it
as
into
a
micro goals as well, though. Instead of like a tour, it could be like a show. You know what I mean? A
Yeah,
show somewhere.
I
yeah.
think that's the only one that one that I did accomplish was perform in Bangkok, and I got to do that. But
Right.
that's the only one that I can
Hmm.
think of.
Yeah, solid. But I guess there's like other stuff that might have cropped up in the year that you've accomplished that you haven't made a mental note of that I guess just kind of got swept under the carpet because maybe it was focusing on the main goals like of touring and stuff.
Yeah.
You know, like I guess the podcast we've done that every week for the whole
Yeah.
year.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
gym
What are the
every
biggest wins this year then?
For me, I'd say finally hitting 500k subscribers on
Oh
YouTube.
yeah,
Yep,
I
that's a
yep.
think
big
that's like
milestone.
that's a nice milestone on YouTube.
Half a
Definitely.
milli. Yeah.
Spending a whole month in Spain, that was kind of a milestone for me because it's something I really wanted to do and test out living in Spain
Yeah.
again. Um, Going to ADE, connecting with labels and producers and all that kind of stuff was a win.
Hmm.
Actually committing to the path that I'm on is a win, I think.
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
didn't
definitely.
stop, start, stop, start. I committed to it and basically just went full force. Those are the biggest wins I can think of. What about you guys?
Let you go, LB.
Um, yeah, probably gym's been good this year. Just been on that pretty solidly for the year. Before I used to be like stop start and you know just kind of 3 months in, a couple months out and just kind of lose what I just gained. But
Yeah.
I've kind of been on it, even though I've had like some slow weeks. I've only been like 3 times a week, 2 times a week. It's still been like pretty solid. And then doing the dark label stuff's been a big win because like started doing it in November or October, and it's kind of already starting to like clear things up and just change up some processes that and kind of simplify some things as well, you know, in terms of just figuring out how to like bring in new forms of revenue. So that's been
Yeah.
really and then YouTube stuff I wouldn't say has been like a win because that's kind of slowed down. But yeah, I'd say those two are the main things. And then just not overworking, just been like being able to just kind of come away from it, like weekends and
Hmm.
in the evening and stuff like that. So yeah, I'd probably say those three.
Nice, man.
How about you, Jay?
I'd say I don't think there's been like one thing that really stands out where I'm like, oh, this is like a huge win. It's probably been more like micro wins, but I think like financially I managed to keep things up even though I wasn't releasing as much long form content, and especially with the way the economy is and everything. So I'd definitely say that's a win to keep things sort of consistent. Um, I would say just some like relationships that I built as well this year. Like by doing, I didn't do loads of sessions, but I linked up with like a couple artists that I speak to regularly now, and like other producers as well, which is going to lead to a lot of releases in 2025, I think. So some small wins like that, and yeah, I mean, just the consistency. I think like just haven't really let anything slip. I've still like I never missed a week of uploads on YouTube. We've done the podcast every week, so I feel like consistency was there still. They were the main things I'd say. Like gym, I was like my consistent with the gym. I never missed like a training session, but I do feel like this year maybe I eased up a bit on. Yeah, I didn't even though I was going gym, I didn't really see any progress. Like maybe some strength stuff, but I'm still about like the same weight. So I'd like to switch things up a bit next year. I think I was like a bit more relaxed this year with my diet, whereas like before, like 2023, I was on like strict routine, like tracking calories, that type of thing. I was a little bit more relaxed, still eating healthy, but I just didn't see much progress. So I think I need to switch a few things up next year. But yeah,
Mm.
more small wins that will hopefully lead to big wins.
Yeah. Nice.
So yeah, hopefully it'll be a big year. We'll see.
Yeah, definitely. I'm
Mm.
very optimistic for 2025. I'm way more optimistic stepping into the new year than I was stepping into this year. Because the
Yeah.
end of
Mm.
2023, I felt lost, man. I just was so lost on what to do.
Yeah.
The path was the unclearest it had ever been for a long time, which was almost, a bit scary in a way.
Yeah.
And I
Mm.
knew I was going to be moving. So also that was, I wouldn't say scary, but it was just something new. So I definitely feel, yeah, like this year should be a nice one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you got focus now. It's one of the most
Yeah.
important things. I probably feel like you last year where I'm like, I feel a bit lost. This year felt a bit more experimental in
Mm.
terms of like music, so I didn't know like what style I wanted to make. I was just
Mhm.
like making a bit of everything really.
I think it might even be just beyond like us, but also just the scene in general.
Yeah.
Mm.
I
Yeah,
think
definitely.
the whole scene was quite experimental. Like
Mm.
nothing really we spoke about this before, but nothing really stuck. There was no genre that was the main thing. A lot of artists were trying a variety of different styles.
Hmm.
Yeah.
And I bet a lot of artists feel a bit lost as well. They're not really sure where they want to take things.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, there's a lot of different trends this in 2024, to say the least.
Yeah,
Definitely.
loads of
Virgin,
different ones.
what do you think was the thing that made you feel lost then, like at the end of 2023? Like, what was the like the I guess the reason for it?
A few different things, but the the way, I don't know, man, chasing placements, it just didn't feel like the path I was meant to be on. And it's strange because
Mm.
I felt a bit of pressure within my own self that like, man, this is what you've been working towards the whole entire time.
Yeah,
You put everything
Yeah.
in place. Why does it feel so off? Why do you Yeah, man, I don't know. I started to wake up and it wasn't exciting anymore. It
Yeah,
kind of
yeah.
scared me. I just felt like I was going through the motions in music. And
hmm
I've never really associated with music like that. Music has always been something fun, something joyful, whenever I've been doing it. But
Yeah.
just
No,
that
I hear
period
that.
of time just felt a bit, I don't know. I felt really stuck as well.
Yeah.
yeah,
No,
I
I
can
hear that,
relate.
man. Yeah,
And
definitely.
something was even inside of me of like, are you moving in congruency with what you really want, what you really want to do? Because, like I said before, I didn't really know I wanted to do electronic music necessarily, at that time, but I did have like a great time doing it that year when I did do it. And I
Yeah.
was thinking back, like, remember when we was in Cyprus and I was saying like, yeah, man, I definitely want to start DJing, or
Yeah.
when we was
Yeah.
in Berlin and all these places, I was like, yeah, man, I want to start DJing, but I didn't know how that looked really. I didn't know,
Hmm.
okay, you want to start DJing and touring, but as what, with what are you gonna do? Like, it wasn't clear. It was
Yeah.
just an idea in the back of my head.
Yeah. No,
What do you
I hear
think made
that.
you realize what you want then? Like, did you spend time, dedicated time thinking about it? Did it come from meditating? Like, what was
It,
the light bulb moment?
yeah, it was a lot of thinking and stuff. I think just time as well, just time passing,
Yeah.
but definitely a lot of thought going into behind it.
You were
Mm.
just recognizing what actually brings you that joy again.
Yeah, definitely. And it's really hard to explain, but it's like I understand in music, not everything is going to be joyous at all times, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what I'm trying to say is here is the saying still stands true when people say when you enjoy your work, you don't work a day in your life.
Yeah.
But why was that feeling like such an uphill grind? Why
Mm-hmm.
wasn't it? Why did it feel like so much resistance there?
Yeah, I know what
Do
you
you know what I'm
mean.
trying to say?
Yeah.
Yeah, 2023 felt like it felt like, especially towards the end, it just felt like we were literally just doing this. I don't know, like it sounds bad because this is what we work towards, is like making beats all day, but we were making like the same style of beats. Like, oh, this guy needs dark drill, like dark trap or dark drill beats, so we just make like a 5 pack, and it's like, all right, one done, next one. Do you know what I mean? It was very, it was very like formulaic. It felt more like a job than it did. We're just creating, So I definitely
I
hear that.
definitely get why people do that too, like following formulas and stuff like that. Like it does make sense in terms of getting
Yeah,
placements. It's really hard for me to articulate it in words, but it something just felt kind of off.
yeah. No,
Right.
I definitely hear that. Yeah.
Yeah, no, it's relatable, man. I feel
Mm.
like I don't know if you guys get this, but like like there's some years that I've had where it's been really easy to like wake up in the morning and get on with my day. Like
Hmm.
I feel like this year I've been a little bit I've noticed even though I still do it, it's been a bit harder to get up and start the day. Like in my mind I'm
Mm.
like not dreading it, but I'm like, "Oh, I could just like chill in bed for a bit more, or
Yeah.
like, oh no, I've got a lot ahead of me. Like almost like you're fighting it a bit.
Mm.
Yeah.
Whereas a couple of years ago, I was like, almost couldn't wait to get up. I was like, right, get up, straight to the gym. I've got my day, like, kind of more excited. I've noticed myself this
Yeah.
year just being a bit more like, I don't know, almost, yeah, just maybe the excitement has been lost a little bit. I need to bring that back.
Mm. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
How are you gonna bring it back?
I think it's figuring out what I really want. Like, I always set
Mm.
myself these goals, financial goals, like, do this, that, and the other. But I really need to spend time thinking about what excites me the most and what I actually want out of this.
Hmm.
Yeah.
But because the goals change so much, yeah, I don't know if I just write goals because I think that's what I need. Where I'm like, okay, I made this much this year. Let's set a financial goal for next year. Let's step up the subscribers. Like all the things that
Yeah.
would just seem obvious. But I think I really need to sit back and think about what I want personally for me, not just these objective goals. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Hmm.
It sounds like
No,
a
I
good
definitely
natural
hear that.
progression though, because like I say, you hit those sort of number goals, and it's just good to keep the goalposts moving. I think that's what kind of keeps you kind of I don't know. I guess that's what helps with longevity. I guess just keeping the goalposts moving, we're always having
Yeah,
something different to work towards, because
Hmm.
you see so many people kind of come and go.
yeah,
It's good that, yeah, I think it's good that in our heads we might feel like we're kind of a bit scattered all the time and stuff, but
yeah,
in reality it's probably a good thing for us, in the long run, because we're still here, like still uploading, still yeah,
yeah.
still going strong. So
I've got a fear
yeah.
of becoming too comfortable as well. But I think
Mm,
it's good that
Mm.
we recognize it. So like you'll see some people like once they've been doing it for a few years, they get comfortable, they let things slip, they get a bit more relaxed. But It's always in the back of my mind. That's the thing that keeps me going, I think, where I'm like, I don't want to get too comfortable. Like, you've got this now, it might not be here forever. So you kind of talk yourself out of it.
Yeah.
But it's good to
Yeah.
recognize that. But
And
then,
it's kind of a blessing in disguise as well, isn't it? It's like I think it's good that none of us really blew up like crazy blow up. You know, like an artist when they get a hit song like out of the blue, they just get all this money, all these opportunities come flooding through. It's like I think it's Fetty Wap said, like, as soon as he started, when he hit that success, he couldn't be asked to do anything at that point because he'd kind of hit that financial comfort zone, I guess. And then it wasn't about the music kind of stuff. It wasn't even about that anymore. He was just like, yeah, I'm comfy now. Like, I'm not going to be in the studio anymore. I'm not going to be grinding like that. So it's kind of good that we've, I guess.
you need the hunger, don't you? Constantly.
Yeah, you never
some sort of hunger.
you never want to stop that.
Nah.
Because as soon as you stop, then it's like the only way
hunger that got you
is
here,
down,
man.
really, innit?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Someone else who's hungry is gonna take that space. Even though I always feel like there's enough space for everyone to eat.
Yeah.
It does feel like if you let it slip, someone can fill your shoes.
I hear that. But I always think in music it's not okay, yes, you can have competition with numbers, but realistically there is no competition because there's only you.
Yeah.
This is how I see it, you know what I mean? It can only ever be one J Cactus. And if someone tries to be J Cactus number 2, they will never be as good as J Cactus.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Because you always get those comments. You always see those comments like, oh, you're just trying to be X, you know, so and so, like it's a rapper that comes out and like, oh, you're just trying to be like this guy, or
Yeah.
so the original always kind of prevails from that.
Yeah, 100%.
Should we do some questions?
Yeah, let's do it, man. I put up the post like quite late, so there's not. I only put it up this morning, actually. You know what? This morning when I woke up, I forgot it was even like Friday that we were doing the podcast. I was just like, because it's one of those weird limbo weeks where it's like, okay, Wednesday was Christmas, we had it off. Boxing Day, we had it off, and then just back to it today. And I was like, because the day before the weekend, let me chill a little bit. I was like, let me go gym a bit later than usual, and then I'll start my day. And I was like, actually, I've got a podcast in half an hour. So I quickly put up the story. So, this will be a good one to start it. What direction do you see YouTube going in 2025 for producers? That's from Maxi.
Okay.
So, I guess it depends if he means for like content creators like us or type beat producers. But let's say for content creation.
No.
I think we're trying to figure that out.
I think YouTube is going to be a bit more. What's the word that I'm trying to think of? No, not cutthroat. I think you're going to be able to
spontaneous, like.
I think content is going to get more natural now. You know, like we had the Mr. Beast phase of really fast edits and stuff like that. I think slowly now it's starting to reverse and go back the other way a little bit more, where people just want the real.
We did say this at the beginning of this year, though.
2024,
yeah, or at the end of 2023. Yeah, because remember Nick Mirror was posting those videos where it was just like not edited, like nothing, and that was what got you wanting to do those daily videos. We were like so sure that it was going to become way more relaxed.
I think it will, but it can't be too relaxed. This is my opinion. I think like it works for Nick Mirror because Nick Mirror is Nick Mirror. Do you know what I'm trying to say? Like he has he has status, but I don't think anyone can just do that. The idea still has to be a good idea.
Yeah.
It still has to have like an it factor to it. But I just feel like the editing doesn't have to be so like fast zoomed and high paced.
Yeah, for sure. It has to be like the packaging. It still has to be right. The payoff.
Yeah.
It still has to be some kind of payoff.
There still has to be a story in there somehow, probably.
Yeah.
And I think longer videos are the way forward. Probably like 20 minutes plus, all the way up into an hour. I think that's like going to be key.
Maybe it's to do with it felt like this year there was a need for a human aspect of everything because we had the rise of AI, deepfakes, all this stuff, even like political things. Like people got fed up of people just saying false stuff that was like pre-written. Like that's why Trump won the election, because he did all those podcasts and just actually spoke like a human. instead of just things that they'd rehearsed. So maybe there's just like a need for like human interaction and just to see people on a human level instead of pre-written stuff all the time. AI, you know what I mean? Like everyone's associating things with AI and machines. It's like, where's the human emotion again? So maybe that plays a part.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah,
All
definitely see it. Definitely see it go more natural this year.
I got another question from Maxi. And
Okay.
shout out Maxi because he's got a sick YouTube channel too.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, in music production. What's the number one thing you're going to prioritize in 2025?
Oh, Maxi. Yeah, I know Maxi. He's got some
Who's gonna
sick
start that
videos.
one?
What was the question again? Sorry, I was just looking at Maxi.
What's the number one thing you're going to what's the number one thing you're going to prioritize in 2025?
For one thing.
I'd say just more collaboration, probably. Yeah.
I would say, just looking at my goals, it would be, I don't know if this is a priority for 2025 or 2024, but it is really just dialing in on what I want. That needs to be my focus. That's going to help me decide what to do for the year. So I think even this weekend, I'm just going to spend some time like by myself, just alone in my thoughts, just like really just trying to dissect myself and figure that out.
Yeah.
So that's the thing right now. And then maybe I'll be able to answer that next week once I've thought about it.
Yeah. I got one from Ibrahim. In fact, Ocean, did you want to answer that as well?
The one thing.
Consistency, but across the board, not just in one thing. All pillars of life have to be fulfilled, even if it just means some things will have to balance out to make way for the other. But consistency across the board is my thing that I want to prioritize.
Yeah. Okay, cool.
Let's get the OG Ibrahim. Shout out Ibrahim.
Yes, sir.
We got, what is one type of topic / style of video you wish stays in 2024?
I'm surprised he gave a serious question. I thought he was about to say something there.
What was the question? One style of what would you
One
want
style
to keep?
one style of topic / style of video that you wish stays in 2024.
Oh, okay. So we're leaving that behind.
Mm-hmm.
Good question.
Yeah, it's kind of tricky.
It's like what are we sick of seeing? Depends if he means like in our own content or just what we see
I
on
guess-
YouTube.
Yeah, I guess
Okay,
we could
that's
do
what's
both.
meant.
Like in the music production space and just in general, like stuff we keep seeing pop up on like socials like all the time.
I think I want to stop seeing like the sort of negative "I'm out to get you" type of content that you see.
Oh yeah, that's why.
There seems to be a thing with like, it's obviously a clickbait thumbnail, but there'll be, I don't know, one thing will happen and then all of a sudden there's loads of videos and it'll be like, oh, I'm trying to think of a title that I've seen recently. You know what I mean? Like one person will do one thing and then a lot of content creators will make a video about this one thing and kind of like explode it in ways that it didn't need to go.
Yeah,
Do you
I know
know
what you mean.
Yeah.
It'll be like so and so has hit a new low or something like
Yeah,
that. That'll be the
that's
title and
exactly what I'm
thumbnail.
talking about. Yeah.
P Diddy
Yeah.
fell off, and then why did P Diddy fall off, and then inside P
Exposed.
Diddy's fall off, and
Yeah,
that whole rabbit hole.
so those
Yeah.
narration
Across the-
channels.
And in all subjects, you see those titles, and they get clicks in it. They get so much views.
They get views,
The
man.
negativity.
It's the
Like some
drama.
stuff might be needed, like P Diddy. I think he probably did that shit, but they also do it with people who might have made just like one little mistake, and then all of a sudden everyone blows it out of proportion, and it's just like a witch hunt out to get this person. So
Yeah.
that stuff, I don't find myself clicking on it. I
Yeah.
feel like you enter yourself into a negative mindset when you absorb all that content. So I'd be happy leaving that in 2024.
Yeah, I think there's like a balance of that in there. It's like some people who deserve it, those channels need to be there to keep those kind of people in check. But then
Yeah.
at the same time, it's like the people who are making that stuff need to keep themselves in check and be like, actually do good journalism, not just cancel people for the sake of having a video idea and it's going to get views.
Because you do need some people like CoffeeZilla. He exposes a lot of scams,
Yeah.
for example. It's like if you're legit exposing a scam and like you really want to warn people about something, then cool, that's fine, because there's some people out there who are out to get you. But on the flip side, there's some people who don't really deserve that negative exposure.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for sure.
What was the other side of that question?
So I guess like what do we wish stays in 2024? So I guess we've done like the broader topics, but is there anything in like music
Producer
production,
space.
yeah, that you wish that you kind of tired of seeing or hearing about?
I can't really think of anything off the top of my head.
The only thing I can think of is it's kind of hard because I feel like plugins these days, it's hard to kind of find one that cuts, like it's hard to make one that cuts through the noise. But I'd say it's just a lot of like copy and paste plugins. But although there's been some good ones recently, Pro Q4 came out, didn't it? That looks insane.
Oh yeah, I haven't got
But like,
that yet.
yeah, but there seems to be a lot of plugins that kind of just do
Same shit.
the same stuff, yeah, just different shiny packaging, which can be quite confusing for a lot of people. Like, I saw a video saying like this guy made a good point of you should just get really good at using one or two versions of the thing you're using it for. So like one compressor, get really good at using that, and just really understand like what it's actually doing. Because you get people with like 20 different compressors and kind of just not really know what they're doing with it. So they just kind of see a new plugin drop and just buy it for the sake of buying it.
Yeah.
So maybe that's the only thing I'd say, but it's not a massive thing really. What about you, Jay?
In the producer space, yeah, I mean, I guess the stuff that we said earlier, but that relates to just like the broader style of videos. But in the producer space, not really sure, because in my head I was thinking, oh, like recycled stuff, where it's like, okay, we've already seen a video on this 100 times. But then I think, you know what, if someone wants to do another video on how to use a compressor, for example, there's going to be a lot of people that relate to his way of teaching and take that in a lot easier than someone else that's done the video. So I can't even say that's necessarily a bad thing, because I'm sure a lot of content that I've made, someone's probably done something similar out there, but for whatever reason, people seem to learn from the way I teach rather than someone else. Maybe they like that I'm quite like relaxed compared to someone else who can be very excitable. So I can't even say that's a bad thing really, because everyone's got a certain way of teaching or explaining things. So yeah, I haven't really seen anything that's made me think, oh, let's just leave that. I wonder if Ibrahim's talking about like certain editing styles, whether he's thinking, all right, all these like fast-paced videos, do they need to stop? Or yeah, but there's nothing I've really seen in the producer space other than what we mentioned earlier, where I'm like, nah, I never want to see that again, because I feel like people need to experiment and figure out the style, don't they?
And I felt there's every style you need, like you'd want. So you've got like the fast-paced guys like Ed Talenti, if you like that style. But then if you want someone that's more mellow, you can go and watch Ocean, or you can watch that Maxi guy, because he just does like these raw videos that are kind of uncut, not a lot of speaking. So there's every lane,
something out there for everyone, isn't there?
Yeah, if it's annoying to have all these fast cuts, then don't watch it. Just watch someone, find someone else that does it more chilled, Yeah. So there's stuff out there for everyone.
Let's see. Have we all said one? Have you done one, LB?
That was Ibrahim's one.
Oh, okay. Let's see. We'll go. It's more of a technical question. And obviously you can't explain it in like one answer on a podcast, but I see this come up quite a bit. So someone wants help with mastering, and he probably wants to know like how important that is. But personally, I feel like when you're making beats, I feel like when you first get into it, you think that mastering is the thing that's gonna make your beats like crazy loud and make it stand out, but it's much more the mix rather than the master. Because you can use some tools to help with mastering, but mastering isn't going to be the thing that makes your beat sound incredible. I think if you're like a high level artist, then use like a professional mastering engineer, because they're doing that all day. But for producers, I don't know many producers that actually focus on mastering the beats, because they're going to get that track placed and it will be mastered at that stage anyway. But I think people ask that question because they think their mixes aren't sounding great, and if they just know the right mastering techniques, then their beats will compete with the really loud and bright ones that are on YouTube. But it is more in the mix, I'd say.
Yeah.
Like if you get into the end of your beat and you're thinking, it's not hitting, it's not really sounding loud, then I feel like you need to work on your sound selection or leveling a bit more.
And to be
Yeah,
honest,
definitely.
that if you're just gonna do it for your beat, it's probably not worth investing money to get that beat mastered because unless you've got a destination for it,
Instrumental
like
album, something
yeah,
like
something
that.
like that. But
Mm.
if you're just sitting on your beat, then just save your money. Maybe get something like Ozone or even
Yeah.
in Logic now they've got the mastering AI, which will do it
hmm
for you. So just mess
Lando
around with
have
that.
one. There's a few like simple
Yeah,
tools
Lando.
that will do it in a few
Yeah,
clicks.
mess around
I
with
think doesn't
that
FL do
to
it
get it
as well?
louder.
Doesn't FL have a built-in one now? Don't know
They
how good
have
it
their
is,
own
but
system as well, yeah.
yeah. Yeah, I agree with Jay there. I think it's like, well, both of you, but I think it's I've literally had people fill out my survey saying they need help with mastering, and then I'll take a listen to the music they've sent me in the survey,
hmm
and the beats just aren't to that level. So I think you're right. Like a lot of producers just think they need that mastering figured out to get the sonics right, but
Yeah.
the mix is like 80% of it. Like even for mixing songs and or beats, just you're just fighting with volume. So just getting the
Yeah.
mix good where everything's hitting at the right level. But if the sounds are kind of off and they're a bit shit, then that's just going to throw off the mix because you're going to compensate and try and pull out frequencies that just aren't there in the source material. So
hmm
yeah, just getting really good at mixing, really good at sound selection, and just really just honing in like the beat production process, and then mastering is just like say
It's
just
just the
adding a
icing on
little
the
bit of
cake, isn't
polish.
it?
Yeah, a little bit of extra polish on top of it. I did hear from this mixing engineer. I can't remember who I heard it from. I think it was in a group call in Dark Label. They said they have mastering engineers who they use regularly, and sometimes if the mix is really good and they've sent them the good mix, um, sometimes they barely touch it. They'll just put a limiter on it and literally just put it up because if it sounds,
Mm.
good initially, their job is to hear if it needs anything. If it doesn't, then it makes their job easier. If it does, then they can go in. They've got the expertise to pull a little bit more of a sonic together. But for the most part, yeah, like they're only there as like an ear to a final kind of like last piece of input, unbiased input, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was from Prod LB 999. That's LLB's secret
Oh shit.
account. Yeah. Sorry, bro. You could have just said if you needed some help.
All right, so I got one from Patrick Forrest, and he said best way to improve at sound production / arrangement.
Listening to songs, probably.
Remake songs.
Yeah.
What do you say? Yeah, it's remake of the songs. Easiest way.
Arrangement, just literally just use a reference track.
Yeah.
Just take whatever song. Most songs in trap kind of have like a similar-ish arrangement, as long as it's
Yeah.
not like something of an anomaly. But just take a reference, see how it's structured. Usually, like the hook might come, then the verse, then the hook, then the verse, whatever. Just see what they're doing, and then just do it piece by piece. And as you keep doing that, you start to develop how an arrangement works.
Mhm.
And then you can start to improvise and do different things with your arrangement. But you just need that building block in the beginning to understand how things should be arranged. Because you don't want to not know. And then let's say you're making a trap beat, but then you're putting a 2-minute intro. It's not going to work.
Especially if you're sending beats out and putting them on YouTube. If you've got really long intros, artists are just going to skip it. Like we've all been in sessions where you play beats for artists and within 5 seconds they're just like, next. So you really need to capture people's attention online. Obviously, if you're working on like an album with someone and you've got a specific goal, then you can do what you want at that point because you're working together.
I think there's a time and a place to be creative with the arrangement for sure. But just if you don't have an idea or a clue, just use references. And then with sound production, I don't know if he means music production or sound design here.
Sound production. Maybe just production in general.
Maybe just, let's just say production in general. I think there's many different tips,
tracks.
But realistically, the number one thing is time in your door, and making as many beats, making as much as possible, and really figuring out what you're not good at. So for example, let's say you're making a beat, but you're realizing your melody is just not really, they're not sounding silky, that's not sounding nice. So that's
Hmm.
something you should focus on for a while. Maybe learn some music theory, learn some chords, figure out what VSTs people are using, what effects they're using, and dial in your melodies. Or if you're listening to your beats and you're like, they're just not hitting hard enough, then that's when you should probably look into more mixing tutorials and stuff that you can use on your drum bus to get everything sounding sick, hitting right.
Hmm.
So I guess it just working on your weaknesses, pinpointing what you're not good at, and then actively trying to work
Hmm.
on them. So your overall production gets better.
Yeah. I'd say as well, just like if you're in that position where you don't know what the problem is, because some producers think they're, I mean, I've been in that position in the early stage. You think you think you've got everything down, and then you get a kind of like a humble pie served to you if you like a
Yeah.
live beat critique or something. If you don't know, but you know there's a problem, but you don't know what it is, or like you're just not too sure which direction to go in. Just honestly, just try and remake like your favorite songs, or
Mm.
like find deconstructions of songs that have done well, on like the Genius equivalent. I can't remember what channel it is now, but there's a channel that consistently gets producers to break down hit songs that they've produced,
Yeah.
and literally just remake it as closely as possible. And then that way through doing that, you kind of understand every aspect of that production, that song you really like. You can get the insight on on the chord progressions, the samples that they've used, if they did use samples, what drum patterns they used, and that kind of breaks down the entire, every aspect that you kind of need. Also helps you kind of develop your ear, like like I know for me, when Mask Off came out, I was like, damn, how did he produce this? He literally just took a sample, and it's like a 4-bar sample, and he just repeated it. But back then I didn't know, because there wasn't any breakdowns or anything.
Yeah.
Or there was, but like later on. So just learning how other people have made certain beats is a good way to develop you kind of your ear as well.
Yeah. 100%. Because that helps for mixing, doesn't it? Like once you like bring in a reference track and you'll be like, okay, this is how loud the snare is compared to the kick or compared to the hi-hat.
Mm,
So even just using it as like a level reference, like that stuff could be really helpful.
yeah,
But
definitely.
yeah, like you both said, the only way to get better at something is literally by making as many beats as possible. Like yeah, you can
Literally,
watch
yeah.
tutorials, you
So,
can take advice, get feedback, but it just comes with
and
repetition.
definitely, yeah, still do all that stuff. The
Yeah.
watch tutorials, get your feedback, but put your time
Mm,
into.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, nothing's gonna be timing and reps.
What else we got? So this is from Bunkabab. He said he loves producing, but
What's his
he's
name?
Bunker Bunker
Oh,
Bebab. I
I
don't
thought
know.
you said like bum kebab or something.
Bum kebabs. um, yeah, Bunkabbab.
Hmm.
Says he loves producing, but he's not 100% sure if he'll make a career out of this. So I guess he's got self-doubts because he doesn't know if he can make anything happen. I guess whenever people say something like that, I feel like if you actually love what you're doing, then you're gonna go for it either way. You're not gonna think about, okay, I'm only doing this because I'm gonna get some sort of goal out of it. And the other thing is like, I'll just go on his profile just to see if he's actually like trying anything at the moment. And there's 3 posts that are nothing to do with music. So I'd say
Yeah,
you haven't even given yourself the chance to try and see
yeah,
if you can make something happen out of it. There's no guarantees with anything. Like there was no guarantees for us when we went in, but you're the only one in control of that, really. Like you have to at least try and give yourself that opportunity. So if you enjoy doing it, you'll just do it regardless whether you're gonna get something out of it or not. And then if you're putting in the time every day, like we should be, then I'm sure you'll slowly start to see things that will give you a little bit of hope.
yeah,
Because
for
it's like if
sure.
you just sat there not releasing any music, not doing anything, then of course you're gonna wonder. But if you start releasing stuff and start to see a little bit of traction, you'd be like, you know what, I gained like a good amount of followers this week, or this video that I posted did a lot more views than this other one. It might be the thing that encourages you to just start releasing a bit more. So that's
Yeah.
only going to come with actually trying. Like, give yourself the chance to try and find out.
Yeah, literally. Even if you just make it like a time frame, like to say, okay, I'm gonna just have a year, 6 months to a year, and just really try and go for it. It might the thing that I'm trying to go for you might not know it initially, but it could be completely wrong, or it might be a complete mistake. But yeah, like Jay said, like through doing that, you'll go, oh, hang on a minute, okay, this wasn't working, but people were,
Yeah.
resonating with this part, and then over time, like like I say, you just build up like a solid foundation, and then your mindset completely changes over time, and then yeah. At that at that 1 year point, you might not be full time, you might not be blown up, but you might have a clearer idea of like where you need to go, from there, instead of being kind of just stuck in no man's land.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%. And also, if you're consistently doing something and you're not seeing any traction, still doesn't mean that nothing's going to work. It might just mean you need to pivot a little bit, maybe switch up the content style, or just try something different. Like, no progress doesn't always mean that nothing's going to work. It might just mean the original plan's not working.
Yeah. Yeah, 100%.
Do you want to
I've
do
only
your
got any other
question?
questions. I've only got like the same questions that we've kind of already answered.
Fair.
Like goals for the year and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see if we've got any other good ones. How can you get VSTs for free?
Do sponsors.
So there's this website called
freevsts.com.
Yeah. Kicks got verified on Instagram, like the legit way.
Oh yeah?
About a few months ago, and a few weeks ago, and he said he just started DMing brands just to see what he could get. He literally said it wasn't even like a professional message. He just said, "What are the chances? Like, what out of 10? What's the chances you'll send me something for free?" Now that I've got a verified account. I can't remember what company it was, but he said someone replied and he said 0.
Oh shit.
but he actually got some free stuff. He said he got some Bear Dynamics headphones. He got a couple of pairs of headphones.
Yeah.
Got a new gaming chair, and then I think like a new desk or something. So he got some good stuff from it. Some plugins as well.
Nice. Yeah.
So shooting your shot. Why not?
Shooting your shot.
How did he get verified? Did he just apply and drop some links? Or
I'm
did it just happen?
assuming. I'm not too sure. I didn't ask him too many details, but I'm assuming it because he gets quite a lot of placements and like he gets featured in blogs and stuff through that. So I'm assuming it was, I guess maybe through that process, like that kind of strategy.
Billboard #1 producer as well. Be like a nice title to have.
Yeah.
Does that type of thing matter to you guys? Like, do you want a certain title like that, like platinum producer, Billboard #1 producer? Like, how important is that to you?
It used to be.
Yeah.
When I was chasing placements, I didn't really want to get a plaque.
Yeah.
But now it's not a goal, so it's not really on my list anymore.
Makes sense.
Yeah, same. Like it's obviously good to have, but I think the only reason I didn't want it just to kind of boost what we've already got going on, just add a bit of credibility to certain aspects. If it kind of makes just another thing to help people to kind of just build trust with someone, if you're trying to, I don't know, if you're just trying to work with certain people.
They do look cool though, I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I would like to have
on the
one.
wall
Yeah.
and seeing your little name like sold 1 million, I think that's really cool.
Yeah. It would be good to have. I do think that, like you were saying, Ocean, because it's not really your goal. Those type of plaques are mainly the goals for producers that are in sessions every day, are spending most of their time chasing placements. So it might be a little bit harder for us to achieve if we're not obviously aiming towards that goal, but it would be sick to have. I'd like to have it. I don't know if it's just an ego thing or just to add some credibility as a producer.
Definitely.
But yeah, you need to focus a lot more time on like chasing placements to achieve something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But
sure.
You never know.
It could
someone
happen.
might sometimes they just come out of nowhere without you even expecting it. So
Yeah, making loop kits, doing things like that. You never know who's
Exactly.
using them, so
Yeah,
it can
exactly.
happen.
Yeah.
Let's see if we've got any other ones. I also find it mad that you have to pay for your own plaques, which is
I
crazy.
know.
And they're not
It's
that
crazy,
cheap,
man.
right?
Nah, they're not. You can spend like a few hundred on them. There's different types of plaques you can get. Like sometimes you can like order your own plaque and anything. Like you can do a Spotify one. You can do like GRM Daily do one. But I think like the certified plaques are is it the RI?
Oh, the
AA.
RIAA
Yeah,
ones.
I think they're like the certified ones. That's if a
Mhm.
song like
Mm.
actually goes gold or platinum. But the others, but I mean, it might be good to like say if you're releasing your own music and you get your first million streams on a track on Spotify,
Mhm.
it might be a good time to order yourself a plaque just to have something in the room just to look at the achievement.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely.
But yeah, you could technically do it with anything. Like you could have something on YouTube and order a plaque for that. But I think like the actual certified ones are just with RIAA
Mhm.
because that's when you can actually look up
Yeah.
the song and see if it's gone gold or platinum or anything.
Yeah.
And then obviously the numbers are different for different countries. But it
Yeah,
would be cool to have.
for sure. I think it'd be
Yeah.
cool to have an award for something, like an either novella or
Mhm.
a Brit Award, something
Yeah,
like that. A
yeah.
Grammy, that'd be insane.
What would be
Yeah.
the ultimate one? I guess a Grammy is the ultimate one.
Yeah, I think the Grammy is like the most prestigious,
Yeah,
but
Yeah.
something like a MOBO or a Rated Award is sick too. That's like more cultural.
Mhm. Yeah. I find it mad that
Yeah.
we personally know people who have been like Grammy nominated.
Yeah, and
Like,
winners
don't you
too.
think we're not that far away when you think about it? Because when you're young, you look at that and you're like, that's a different world. Like, they're superstars. But then
Mhm.
once we've been in it for a while and we know, I'm sure we see it all the time on our timeline. Like, it'll be producers that you've connected with. And it's like,
Mm.
oh shit, they've been nominated for a Grammy. That's crazy.
But
Yeah.
then you think as well, the producer community, it make it's not as massive as we think. Like once you're in it,
No.
and
Yeah.
you realize you're actually like you're not too far away from anyone. We're probably
No,
only
you're not.
a connection away from Drake or
Oh, of
two
course.
connections away from Kendrick or something like this. We
Yeah,
all
for
know
sure.
Central C's producers and
Definitely.
Drake's
Yeah.
producers and all that. It's all like very
I think because,
so close but so far at the same time.
yeah.
Yeah.
And we
Yeah.
think there's like millions of producers out there, but the actual producer community are the people that are like taking it serious and you kind of respect each other in the space. Like that community where people are actually doing it is quite small
Mm,
in the grand scheme of things.
yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Let me see if we've got any others. You guys got any other questions?
Nothing.
No,
more.
not really.
You
Kind of
kinda
did the
answered
same
them
thing. I didn't post
basically.
it until this morning.
Yeah, I've got a lot of like the samey ones like free VSTs. Let's collab. Things like that. But
Yeah.
I've answered well, I've mentioned the main ones anyway.
Yeah.
So yeah, that could be it. We spoke about a lot. Goals this year, goals next year.
hmm
So we could wrap it up there.
Wait, so what's the one goal that we're gonna hold each other accountable for?
Hmm. I think, yeah, I need to figure out my path anyway. So I need to really think about what I want.
Hmm.
But there needs to be an accountability goal. Like there needs to be some sort of consistency goal, doesn't there?
So maybe we
Yeah.
should ask you that next time. We should check in and be like, okay, so have you figured out what it is that you want?
Yeah. Okay. What about you
Yeah.
guys? Though you might have yours.
What's yours,
Um,
LB?
sorry, I missed the last part of Jay's question. It just cut off for a second.
It's just like the one thing that we need to hold you accountable to. Because
Um,
maybe this should be a thing, like when we carry on filming the podcast. I don't know if we do it like once a month, maybe just have like a dedicated segment where we're just like, not even a full segment, just all right, like how,
an accountability segment.
yeah. Because
Mm.
sometimes that's the thing that helps you stick to it. Because when you're just
Yeah,
like
true.
working by yourself every day, there's no one checking in. Like when you're at a job, it's like you've got your boss checking in, like to see if you hit your KPIs and everything. But when you're by yourself, it's only you. So sometimes it's good to have someone to be like, all right, Jay, are you on track this month? Like, what have you done? Because then if you're like, no, I haven't really done anything, it's like, fuck, I need to step it up next month because he's going to ask
Yeah,
me again. So that might be good for all of us.
yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's a good idea. Maybe do like the last week of the last pod of the month. We'll have like a
Yeah,
little segment at the
Sure.
end.
just a quick
Yeah.
5 minute thing. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have you got yours,
maybe.
Ocean? Or LB?
I was gonna say maybe probably just sessions. We've got a monthly session in, you know,
Okay,
at
monthly
home or
session.
away. You know, yeah,
So we just need to check if you've done a session that month.
yeah. Start off easy.
Something good, yeah.
What's the punishment? What's the punishment if we haven't done it each month?
Got to film the next pod naked. No, did he?
No, did he? Yeah.
Yeah. What could the punishment be?
Yeah, we
Either
gotta do
something funny or like a donation jar or something like that.
Maybe we get like one story post, but we decide what goes on the story.
Oh man, that
These
is
are two decide.
crazy.
It's gonna
Okay,
start
that
off
means we're
mellow, and then by the
definitely
end of
gonna
the year.
Yeah.
definitely gonna have a fire up our asses then.
Let me see if I've got any more goals that I could actually stick to.
Let me see if I've got any goals I can actually stick to.
No, but I mean like something that I meant something in my current list that I could
Yeah.
I could check up on. Yeah, I'm gonna have to think about man. I think
Right.
I'll have it ready.
All right.
How about
So
you,
next time
Ocean?
we'll check in and see
Yeah.
if you got
Yeah.
that one. For me, yeah, I want to say consistency, but that kind of just sounds like nothing. I'm trying to
Yeah.
think of a way to make it like,
Well, what can you do every month specifically that we can track and make sure you're doing every month?
I'm gonna put it out there. I'm gonna put it out there. I'm
Go on.
gonna be consistent on TikTok this year,
Mm,
and I want to have a streak. And I
okay.
just want to see how long I can make this streak last for. So
Okay.
check in if I've got that streak continued, basically.
What is it going to be posting like every day, or every other day, or you're not sure yet?
Let's say at least 15 posts in a month.
Okay,
Yeah, that's a good number.
cool.
So what's that a week?
3 to 4 a week.
3 to 4 a week, or none 1 week, and you just stock up the week after or something. Yeah,
We'll start off with that one.
15 a month.
Consistency on TikTok. We'll start there.
Okay,
Okay. So 15 a month from Ocean,
one session a month
TikToks.
for you,
1 session a month.
and then yeah, I'll think of mine.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
I've
We'll
got
check
this
back
weekend.
in.
I've got a weekend to myself, pretty much. Well, my girl's going to New York on Sunday, so I've got like a few days to myself where I can just really sit back and I think have some personal J Cactus time, reflecting. That sounds a bit sus, but
That sounds so sus. What's going on?
Sounds like an alter ego. Like,
Yeah, it does.
sit myself down with J Cactus, so we need to have a good word, a good thing, some quality time.
just the time to think. Nothing
Yeah,
weird.
Nothing
baby
wild.
oil.
Oh, right. On that note,
Yeah, it's probably
it's
a
a
good
slippery
time.
ending. Let's
A slippery ending to the year.
Yeah,
But yeah, I appreciate you guys for watching all the videos this year. We've been consistent with this at least. This will be the
Yeah.
52nd episode, so literally like one
Yeah,
every
yeah.
week, which is sick. So yeah, appreciate you guys for tuning in all the time. And
So,
we'll definitely be
Yep.
consistent this year as well. So we'll see you in the next one.
See you in
Yep.
2025.
peace.
Yeah, have a good one. Peace.